Do you want a kneeling pad?
No, I'm good.
We are almost out of close with the RSX here, so the only thing that we're waiting on now is just the air filter and the Kpro to show up. So we finished up the exhaust underneath, we're bleeding the coolant out and just letting the car run just to make sure that everything is straight on it. The biggest thing with the RSX is always the heat, so they like to basically get stuck with air bubbles. And so when I checked it earlier, it was pretty low. Heater was hot last time, but it obviously was way low because it's burped the air out. So we're going to go ahead and just rev it up a couple times here and just let the heat get hot, hopefully. Once the heat gets to a certain point, we'll shut the car off, let it cool down, and then we'll check the coolant again. But so the reason why I know that it still has some air in the system is because that even though it's up to operating temp, I'm revving it up and the heat is starting to get warm. So when I first climbed back into the car, the heat was still cold. So now it's starting to come up to temp. One other thing to note too as well is that remember that the heat runs through your coolant. So coolant on average is about 200 degrees, give or take. Hondas generally run a little bit cooler than most cars. But either way though, once it gets to op temp, the heat should feel pretty damn hot, like it's going to burn your hand, especially if it's this close right here. So that's how I always check them with every car. So we've got the Kpro in for the RSX. We're going to go ahead and get this installed and set up, and then we've got to get the car back in on the lift for us to check on the exhaust leak that it's got. We don't know where the exhaust leaks come from. We think it's from the exhaust donut, and just kind of double check all of our work before we can send this thing off. So the exhaust is all set up, and we had a small exhaust leak, but we fixed that already. And then the intake, we had to turn to a short ram intake. So basically the way it works is the RSX, the throttle body faces this way, so it goes over and then it kind of nestles back here. But with the new throttle body or the new intake manifold and the spacer, it puts it at such an extreme angle that the intake was coming up through here, and with the filter it was smacking against, believe it or not, the rack and pinion, which is on a Honda, it's further up right here as you can see. So it was resting against that, and so we basically had to turn to a short ram to get it in there. The Honda ECU is back, so now it's just a matter of getting it put into its place. So I'll go ahead and get that all put in where it needs to go, and then we'll call it a day. One thing that I totally forgot is that the immobilizer issue. So this is the correct ECU for this car. So the ECU came out of this car, factory immobilizer is working. When you go get Kpro done, the immobilizer should still work. So I forgot that the immobilizer is disabled by default. So I went ahead and enabled the immobilizer, and then you write it. The thing is that if you go to start it right away, the little flashing key light will be on over here. So what you actually have to do is enable it, upload it, turn it off, then turn it back on. Once you turn it back on, the key light will stay off at that point. So as you can see, the immobilizer is working intact like it's supposed to. All right, so we got the car to operating temp. Heat is definitely hot, which is a good sign. That means it's bled. And I've got the laptop hooked up to the ECU. And we're just gonna take this thing out for a spin. All right, well, first things first, the speedo doesn't work, and that could be like a Kpro thing there. weird. I'm not sure why it continually tells me the upload failed. I spoke too soon. We're having some weird issues with the Kpro. As you guys saw, driving down the street, I couldn't upload anything. So this is it connected, but revs don't change anything, but it's only sometimes. So I'm going to switch USB ports, and it says that there's a check engine light, which there is, and with it connected, it doesn't do anything. So like if you go to upload it, you can upload while running. It causes the car to stumble a little bit, sometimes stall, and then it throws an error. And then so you can try to erase the ECU altogether and start from scratch, and even bam. So I'm not sure what the problem is. I checked the ground on the valve cover, all that's working. Then if you look into here, the red LED is flashing, but when I connect, the green one's not coming on anymore. So that's not right.